probably switching casters. Take it away.
Okay,
Come on,
so we weren't
Hawkeye.
actually able to get into picks and bans.
Off the
so
stream.
We're
Off the
just watching
stream.
it off the stream. But it looks like so far we have pretty standard. The only thing I'm interested about is the Orianna ban. I don't know if that's targeted at somebody or they just hate playing against Orianna, because that's not a really common one. Lysandra, I think, is not banned enough because she's amazing. So much team fight utility, and then they built so much damage on top of that. Just an incredible AP mid pick. I hope this Shaco is locked in. That would be so much fun.
That would be epic. I would love to see a Shaco in tournament play.
Yeah, I mean, Shaco can... Oh, and then they change off.
Aw.
Shaco can be a lot of fun, just because of everything he brings to a team fight. But I'm also really surprised to see it because he can get burst down so quickly. He can basically just get obliterated right out of fights.
Yeah, but if you're a good Shaco player and you play Shaco the first 20 minutes of playing Shaco, you're just so devastating with your ganks. But once you hit about that 20-25 minute mark, you start to fall off. But if you build them correctly, your counter pushing is so strong with Shaco, especially with his ultimate. You get that AD up, and he can just push turrets all day. You know, he's literally, in one of my opinions, one of the stronger backdoor champs just with his ultimate. And unfortunately, they trolled me, and we're not going to see a Shaco.
No, we are going to see a Kha'Zix, which I think we've kind of seen a little bit of a resurgence of.
Oh!
And now Shaco on the other. Now stop trolling us. I don't care. I'm not saying until Shaco's locked in, nobody gets love from me because you're just trolling and making me sad. I do like the Kha'Zix pick though. Kha'Zix has kind of become popular again. We saw it in the All-Star game a few times yesterday because it's really, for some reason, Kha'Zix just like fell out of favor in North America. We stopped seeing it. I think it's because we kind of switched back to tanky top lanes. And Kha'Zix mid just became a thing mid players didn't want to do. But Kha'Zix is incredible with burst damage coming out of the mid lane or the top lane. I think it's always a good pickup into pretty much any team comp, especially when you already have a Nautilus, because now you've built something up that can protect them.
Yeah, and actually, going back to that Kha'Zix thing, you know, I've had discussions with people where, you know, they've cried, oh, with this latest patch, Kha'Zix is nerfed into the ground, blah, blah, blah. You know, what's your opinion on that?
Kha'Zix isn't nerfed into the ground. He's not where he used to be, which is where he could just jump through a team fight and pentakill as long as your AD carry was low enough that the first jump killed him. I don't think he's there anymore, but I don't think he should have been there anyways. So
Cough,
he
cough,
still
last
has...
night. Cough, cough.
Yeah. You know, he still has great poke damage. He's still got incredible assassinate power on his passive. He's still one of the best assassins at just getting to the back line of a team fight. And so I think he's still in a perfectly fine place.
What did they take? I can't remember exactly what they took away from his W, but didn't they buff his singled out damage with his Q?
Yeah, so there's a benefit to actually hitting people out of line when they're by themselves. And again, that's the most interesting thing. He's one of the few people who has incredible team fight utility, but also duels really well. Usually you're picking one or the other. But if we look at the other picks in the game, we now have a Renekton almost insta-locked, which, fair enough, Renekton is amazing right now. Caitlyn and Lee Sin. Caitlyn, when I saw the nerf to Caitlyn, I was like, oh man, we're not going to see Caitlyn's anymore. But I've been playing Caitlyn like crazy since the nerf, and it doesn't matter. Still has the best poke, the best range combination in the game. She's still borderline untouchable. In lane, as far as being a lane bully, the only way to beat a Caitlyn in lane is consistent, well-timed ganks from your jungler, or to just be playing a Caitlyn you're significantly higher skilled than. Varus is not a bad pick into Caitlyn, but I don't know that Blitzcrank... Blitzcrank will provide the... Yeah, well, and Blitzcrank will provide the ability to get kills on Caitlyn when he lands a pull, but I don't think his other utility is going to do anything in that lane. Caitlyn does outrange Varus on everything but his Q. Well, I don't see that lane going super well. Now, the team fights should go pretty well, but then you're looking at Lulu as the support for blue team, and Lulu is the queen of team fights. I mean, the shields, the slows.
The positive side of picking a Blitzcrank I can see is Varus gets fed, either off of creeps or actually kills with successful ganks. But that Blitzcrank actually pulling that Lulu and getting that silence off and then bursting Lulu down so she cannot utilize her ultimate.
Well, yeah, and I'd say that'd be really a good plan if you had a tanky jungler, because Varus's burst isn't great. It's not terrible, but he's more about sustained damage. So I don't know that... I don't know that they have the burst, because I'd say that's a great combination when their high-damage jungler comes in, but I'm 99% sure their jungler is Nautilus. And Nautilus doesn't have that high front-end burst when he comes in. They did pick up a Rise, so maybe if Rise roams bottom at the same time, they can really make something out of it.
Or maybe if we see a teleport from Kha'Zix, maybe?
Yeah, but then you're giving up... taking teleport on Kha'Zix is something you can do, but then you're giving up a lot of his top lane potential with Ignite to finish kills. And it looks like we do have the Ignite locked in, so...
Absolutely. And actually, a jungle Lee Sin. Haven't seen actually that many Lee Sins. Even in ranked, people said that, he was nerfed to the point of where his end game isn't, one of the more stronger end games for a jungler that could be picked. What's your opinion on that?
I don't think he's bad. He's always going to have utility, just a high skill cap. People who are good with him will continue to be good with him.
Well, I actually play a lot of Lee Sin top. I love the simple fact of you can Q in and W right away and just keep that poke going. A high amount of poke with zero impact on yourself, because if you can react quick enough, you're not going to take any damage.
Kuro, are you actually spectating in the game so we can spectate off of you?
We still got a minute delay. Or actually almost 2-minute delay, so...
And you're going to have to spec off TowerDiveTV1. I got kicked out of the client.
Ah, lovely. So it looks like we're going to cast off the stream because neither of us have TowerDiveTV1.
Nope. All got it covered. Have no fear.
Lunette is here.
Get back to casting.
But okay.
Waiting on the delay right now, trying to see who I should spectate off of. But I don't know. With the team comps we have here, neither one is. So both of them have heavy CC coming out of one champion. We're gonna be looking at Renekton as really the big CC threat, along with Lulu, and then we have Nautilus. And Nautilus kind of came out of nowhere. There haven't been any Nautilus changes. I think people just finally remembered to play him.
It's hey. I got an anchor. I could, pull people back to me. I have an awesome ultimate. I have a very cool shield that acts as a snare. And
acts as a huge damage burst. Because what Nautilus does is forces you to fight him. And there's very few tanks in this game that are also you have to fight me. Because if you don't take Nautilus's shield down and let him apply that dot to target after target as he auto attacks and stuns them, he actually does a pretty good amount of damage. On top of having great CC, his ultimate is a great initiate, his anchor is a great initiate. So he's really powerful, and really, like I said, without any significant buffs, he's become popular again, which I love. I think Nautilus is one of the most powerful junglers in the game, one of the most fun to watch. So I'm excited to see how this works out and kind of see him come back into play, because jungling had gotten a little bit stale. We were kind of starting to see the same 3 or 4 junglers in high-end play get picked, and even though we have different bans and stuff in low-end play, it always tends to filter down. What people are seeing played in LCS is what they're willing to try and solo queue, whether it's the right decision or not. People want to stick with what they're comfortable with, what they've seen the pros do. So I'd love to see more diverse junglers coming out. Because it's the only position in League of Legends that I think is really, really stale with what's considered viable.
And now we're into skin intimidation.
And let's see here. Oh, definitely not Blitz. I love definitely not Blitzcrank. That is just one of the greatest skin designs. in the game. Triumphant Rise, so somebody's won a tournament before. I'm really sad. I never got Triumphant Rise. I really want that skin.
Well, actually, one of the more favorite skins in the game that I personally like, Ruin Wars Renekton.
Yeah, I mean, Rune Wars is pretty cool looking. I like. I don't know if there's enough changes. I'd like to see some cool kind of different style Renekton skins, but
Well, there's a lot of champions out there who need some skin love. That Renekton being one, but I was looking the other day and it was like he only had 3 skins, and he was not a new champion. I'm trying to remember who in the heck that was. As we wait to spectate off of somebody.
I'm on it.
All right. Fortunately, they're loading really slow on the stream, so hopefully we can get into the game really quick before any action starts off.
You should be able to spectate off of me now.
I am spectating off of you right now.
me too. Loading into client.
And
I
as
feel
we look, wow, Diamond Team versus Platinum Team.
So in other words, all better than me.
Better than both of us put together.
Hey, I made it through my advancement series last night at 4 a.m. So I'm awesome. And I've now partially recovered from my huge elo drop. Wow, Renekton taking a really long time to learn. I mean, you gotta
He had to go put that toast in the toaster to increase his loading time there.
See, I feel I like Adobe Air. Like we always make that joke about people have you have a horrible computer because you're loading slow, but I have like a really nice $2,600 custom computer and Adobe Air. Like sometimes it'll take me like 4 minutes to load into games. Like, oh, how's your toaster for playing League of Legends? I'm like, yeah, no, my computer costs more than my car does. Adobe Air client sucks.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was talking with a friend about Smite. Smite, who I feel has a little bit, higher end graphics, but the loading time is so quick, and it's like, I wonder why that is. It's like, oh wait, they don't use Adobe.
Yeah, the nice thing about Adobe Air though is it's universally like it's gonna support every computer. It for its internal problems, it has a lot less external problems, so I can see why it's used. But it does suck when we're stuck waiting 5 minutes for a game to load and trying to come up with more things to say about the team comps and skins. All right, here we go. We are into a game. Let's see what everybody does here at level 1. Do you see a level 1 invade coming out from either of these teams?
I actually see a level 1 invade coming from Purple. They have, I would say, the stronger level 1 CC. You have Rise's Bind. You have Nautilus's Anchor, Varus's Soloa, and we do have a pause coming out here. But we do have, Varus's Slow, Blitzcrank's Pull. They do have the strong level 1 engage with the CC. And let me actually turn my chat on here. Sorry, had to reinstall League of Legends the other day.
All right. So, yeah, no, I think you're right. I don't know if I'd take the lock on Rise, though, just because you have so much other CC. I mean, they can definitely go for a Blitzcrank pull of the blue buff over the wall. And that is, if Lee Sin's starting blue. I've actually seen Lee Sin starting blue recently. I mean, it is the standard path, but it's not really beneficial to him. Plus, when you have fear of an invade like this, it's a lot easier to defend those entrances around red buff. So I'll be interested to see where everybody sets up and if anyone attempts, some level 1 trickiness.
And we do have the on pause.
Yeah, and it's always a gamble because you can get so far ahead in the early game if you pick up, a couple of kills. But if you get separated going into their jungle and you lose 2, 3, 4 people, it's just, it can ruin your game. Oh, poor Lulu.
And it looks like we do have that maybe possible red a jungle invade going on here at bottom. Renekton taking his time to get up here, but it looks like red team's probably gonna back off. Blue team knows they're there. Blue team's gonna, get into preparations to maybe possibly defend against that invade.
Yeah, it actually wasn't as bad as I thought because neither Nautilus or Blitzcrank were there. If either one of them had been in that brush, that would have been a very, very dead Yordle.
And it looks like we might have Caitlyn getting caught out here. Hopefully she is paying attention. We do have pings coming out. They do know there's a ward. The ward does go down, and Blitzcrank does miss his pull. That could have been very bad for Lulu.
But they also killed the ward, which means they won't know exactly
And it
where
looks
they
like we
are.
do have an engaged Lee Sin there. Face checking the bush. Anchor is down onto the Lee Sin, and blue team actually having to turn it disengage here. Red team actually being the stronger level 1 team, just bullying blue team out of their jungle right now.
Yeah, I mean, there wasn't going to be a kill there because the Blitzcrank pole was down, but smart move by blue team. There was nothing to be gained by staying there and fighting. Odds are they would have lost that fight pretty badly.
Absolutely. I mean, you take a look and you see the damage that Lee Sin took compared to what Nautilus took, and that was pretty scary for a level 1 engage.
Yeah, I just don't think Lee Sin thought they were going to be able to get into that brush that quickly, so he thought he would be the one waiting to surprise them, as opposed to the entire team in there to say hello to him.
And it looks like we have a Rise actually topping Kha'Zix mid. It looks like we do have an engage going down on in the middle, and we do have the flash coming out from Diana, so her flash is down.
That was actually really good there. They were able to put out a decent amount of damage and blow the flash. Like, if you don't get a kill with an early gank like that, that really is the best you can hope for. And I think a lot of people underrate ganks or just forcing summoner spells. People are always like, if you didn't get a kill, it wasn't worth it. No, that was definitely worth it. The Rise top, I actually like that. I think Rise has a better time against Renekton than Kha'Zix will.
Oh, you want to run up and bind me? Huh, I'll just bind you. Or you want to run up and stun me? I'll just bind you and walk away.
Yeah, I mean, it'll be a little rough here in the beginning, because I think Renekton will have better jump in, but once Rise has gotten tier and is able to just kind of spell machine gun onto Renekton, is going to be able to do a pretty good job zoning him, and if nothing else, at least not die and feed what is the stronger lane from blue team.
Man, though, actually going back to the whole middle with Diana actually having to burn her flash, I don't understand that. She knew Nautilus was there getting red. Why push up that far when you know someone is in your jungle?
Yeah, I mean, it's all about thinking you can set yourself up in a better position. Man, this Lulu is just mean. So Lulu is doing like the meanest thing a shield support can do, and that is shielding creeps as Varus goes to last hit and throwing off his last hit pattern. There is nothing more annoying to an AD than throwing off his hit pattern for getting those last hits.
Well, that's good. You want to cause the AD carry to lose out on CS. The same thing with playing, let's say, a support Alistar. Support Alistar, not really good, really passive support, but really good at trolling the AD carry and making that AD carry miss out on CS.
Yep. Now, something we've seen here, though, we do see Varus blowing a lot of mana early. And Blitzcrank's mana costs are really high, too, so I don't know. I don't know if I like this Varus pick in here, because I don't think Varus is going to be able to take advantage of early pulls, which is where Blitzcrank is by far the better support. This matchup only goes more and more in Lulu's favor as the game goes on.
And it looks like we might see a possible gank here in mid. Lee Sin trying to set himself up to get a jump onto Kha'Zix. And it looks like, nope, he's not pushed up far enough. I can't get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things you want to get in on Kha'Zix there before he has his jump and his ultimate, so he's able to stealth out. But you also have to take the right situation. A lot of times, especially with that Q, you see Lee Sin's just jump in way over their head early and give stuff up.
Well, it's not just that. Whenever I play champion that has a jump ability, I try and get, the Lee Sin to jump onto me so I can either jump and flash under turret and pull them with me under the turret to pick up that easy kill. And that's, one of Kha'Zix's abilities with his jump can easily do that. But going back to bottom, this Caitlyn Lulu just harassing this Varus Blitzcrank down. They're both at full health. Varus and Blitzcrank there are not looking too healthy.
Yeah, it was a good start from Caitlyn. Again, Caitlyn just has incredible poke right now. I still think even after the nerfs, one of the strongest ADs in the game. Blitzcrank missing another pull, and you can see what that does to his mana. He just can't. He's not at a point where he can do that over and over again, and they're preventing the farm. We already have a 10 CS difference between Varus and Caitlyn, and since the waves are constantly pushed into the tower, that's definitely not going to get better over time.
And as we have a look over the entire map, we actually have bottom lane and top lane pushing really hard. I mean, really hard. They're both pushed up to the turret. You know, red team not being able to do anything, really. They are just really... And we do have an engagement going down on middle. Diana actually in trouble. The Ignite is down onto Diana, but Lee Sin is there coming in to shield. The first blood does go to Diana onto Kha'Zix. And actually, Lee Sin picking up the kill on the Nautilus. Diana barely escaping with her life.
That was impressive. I thought Diana was dead for sure. I didn't think there was a way to escape there once the hook landed. Really clutch shield by Lee Sin. And a really good amount of damage from him early, which he doesn't have any damage items yet, but he really came in at the perfect timing there. And the kills onto Diana and Lee Sin are just going to make this even rougher. I really thought that Kha'Zix.
Oh, we do got a nice Blitzcrank pull down on the Lulu. The Ignite is down on the Lulu, but Lulu actually exhausting Varus, forcing him to kind of set back. No, but the flash is from Varus. Varus continuing down actually onto this Caitlyn. Caitlyn taking actually a lot of damage, but nothing will come from it.
Yeah, really good job by getting out there.
That was really good burst. Oh, but here comes Lee Sin for possible gank. Both Varus and Blitzcrank are low. Caitlyn just sitting back. Let's see. Yes, here goes Lee Sin. Looks like, oh no, he missed his Q. But still pretty good damage coming down from Lee Sin and from Caitlyn's Q. And Lee Sin picking up the kill on the Varus. And the actually flash coming down from Lee Sin, picking up that double kill. And Lee Sin just doing what Lee Sin does and bolts away from underneath that turret.
Really good mobility there. I was impressed with what Lee Sin was able to do. Again, in another fight. You know, it's something we don't see as Lee Sin jungle, I think, as much as we should because of his skill cap. And that is some very good Lee Sin play. That's got to just be discouraging for Purple Team. The amount of damage that went out that quickly there. They've now got 4-0. They're already down 2.5K gold. And the kills are not on people you want them to be on. You now have a 3-kill Lee Sin and a 1-kill Diana.
And it looks like top lane is just going to sit and be a island for the most part of this game, unless Nautilus decides to come top, and it looks to be almost fairly even.
See, I'd say that's a little bit more what... I'd say just staying in top lane and passively farming is going to be more what Renekton wants than what Ryze wants. I mean, yes, they're both good once they picked up a lot of golden kills, but I think Renekton is heavily favored as far as just getting farm. You want Ryze involved in team fights using all of his abilities, you know, that spell machine gun, as Riot always puts it. Whereas, yeah, I think they're going to be very comfortable with Renekton.
It looks like we have Blitzcrank at bottom just harassing him back, trying to get that pull, and he does get the pull down on the Caitlyn. Caitlyn does flash to get out. We do have Varus Blitzcrank down, but Varus taking a lot of punishment from this Caitlyn, a bunch of damage, but he does wind up picking up the kill onto Caitlyn, and Caitlyn picking up the kill on the Varus, and Blitzcrank continuing to deal damage from Lulu, but Diana comes down from middle, picking up that kill onto the Blitzcrank. I really don't think Lulu needed that help. I think Lulu could have soloed that Blitzcrank.
Yeah, it's still good to have a support there. You don't want to see Lulu die to something crazy. And at the same time, top, we did have Lee Sin just go up there and obliterate Ryze. Ryze did not have much of a chance there. So this is not getting any better. We're now looking at 7-1, and the only kill has been pretty much in a trade.
And, the kills are going to people who need them. Lee Sin, really strong when he's fed. Diana, super strong when she's fed. Caitlyn's 1, and 3. She does have the 1 kill, but she has those 3 assists. I would like to see more kills on her. But then again, I love seeing a lot of kills on Lee Sin.
Well, and the thing is with Caitlyn is the farm is still going very well. Yeah, it's 1, and 3, but up 22 farm. And that's only getting worse. So it's one of those things where bottom lane hasn't necessarily needed the kills to go onto the AD because the AD is getting ahead in other ways.
But one thing I do have to say, I have to give props to, is that Varus, instead of freaking out, he saw that ultimate going down on him. Instead of freaking out, trying to flash away and get away from something that he can't get away from, or trying to block it with Blitzcrank's body, is he continued to deal that damage and did pick up that kill on a Caitlyn.
Yeah, just unfortunate that it was a trade-off for him, though, because Caitlyn will take those one-for-one trades all day because Caitlyn is farming much better than Varus is. So, in an all-things-equal trade, Caitlyn comes out on top.
In my opinion, I think this Blitzcrank is going a little too ham. I think this Blitzcrank Varus should be actually passive, a lot more passive than what this Blitzcrank's forcing Varus to be. What do you think about that? Do you think they should be passive, or do you think they should be playing a little bit more aggressive, trying to push him off that tower?
Well, that's why I didn't understand the bot lane picks. I mean, Blitzcrank is all about, we've got a...
See, there we go, Blitzcrank going down, but there's Nautilus. We do have the flash coming out from Lulu, and it looks like they won't be able to do anything with this.
Yeah, we had an engagement top that went the same way. Both turrets are in real trouble, though. I think we're going to see bottom and top turret fall pretty quick here. As I was saying before that happened, Blitzcrank is a really aggressive and early game-based support, and Varus is a really passive and farm-up AD. The lane just doesn't make any sense to me.
Absolutely, and actually, this Ryze is in a lot of trouble. We're looking at that turret health. Only 131 health left on that turret. But we do have pings coming out. Renekton actually in a really bad position. Ryze getting that bind down, and Kha'Zix is there as well. But man, that damage coming out from this Renekton actually picking up the kill down onto Ryze, and Diana turning on to Kha'Zix. Ultimate does go down, the Ignite is onto Kha'Zix, and Diana picks up the kill on the Kha'Zix, and Renekton runs away with his life. 200 health.
Impressive again. Like, Diana and Lee Sin have had incredible timing in this game, showing up just in time to save people. Renekton just showing why he's a bully right now, and why, even though he's still one of my least favorite champions, everybody picks him all the time for top lane right now. He's just a bully.
And we do have bottom turret going down, and Lulu continuing to push up, getting that ultimate down, getting the slowdown on the Varus and on the Blitzcrank. Varus in a lot of trouble. There's the ultimate, but the barrier comes up and down, barely saving his life. Lulu does pick up the kill, but the ultimate is down. And Blitzcrank flashing away and getting away barely with his life.
Yeah, and the kill going on to Lulu there, but that's one of those situations where you just want to finish it off.
Diana and Lee Sin are there. Lee Sin just dealing a bunch of damage, but Kha'Zix is there as well. Diana looks like to be in trouble, but there's a Lee Sin kick. Diana picks up the kill on the Nautilus, but Lee Sin goes down to Ryze, while Diana is still there dealing a bunch of damage, picking up a double kill onto that Kha'Zix, and actually flashing away, trying to get away from this Ryze, not allowing him to get the kill. And that triple kill. Man, this Diana. Diana.
That was beautiful. That was absolutely beautiful. I mean, I was talking before the game started about how much I loved Purple Team's team comp, but it hasn't mattered. The mobility that Blue Team had has put their champions in the right place at the right time consistently. And it just hasn't mattered that they're out CC'd. They are just wrecking faces in very, very good play. 13-2 now, almost a 10K gold lead at 14 minutes in. All first-tier towers down. This is getting out of hand a little bit here.
Yeah, and I like playing Diana a lot, and most people yell at me. I get that Moonstrike down just so I always have my ultimate up, and looks like Renekton might be in trouble. Renekton going in is shows Nautilus, hey, I'm big, I'm fed. Come at me, bro. And Blitzcrank and Nautilus haven't actually turned around, and it's just this Renekton. It's just Renekton right now, forcing 3 members from Red Team back.
Well, and that's why you saw him be a little more careful, too. Like, he wasn't going in. He was kind of staying back. And it's because Lee Sin and Diana weren't in the area. They didn't have what they've had consistently in the game, which is people hiding.
It looks like we could have seen a possible gauge from Diana. She did ult up and pull back. But going back to what I was saying on Diana, you get that Moonstrike, and your ultimate does not go on cooldown to people that you hit with Moonstrike. So, that was really good play on her, keeping that Moonstrike up on people, so she always had her ultimate up.
Yep.
And just, having that ability to deal that damage, Diana, I just love her. There we go. There goes Diana with the engagement there, but Varsa's ultimate does go down, and we do have the Zonias from Diana. Diana picking up the kill on the Nautilus. Red team in a lot of trouble right now. Double kill going on to Diana. Lee Sin's now into the fray. Triple kill for Diana. Picking up that kill on the Kha'Zix, forcing Varus and Rise back. Man,
Wow.
this Diana is going big this game.
They shouldn't have stayed around. Like, once they got Diana to blow the Zonias, that should have been the end of the fight. It's like, all right, we popped the Zonias, we need to get out of here. Because what happened is they stayed around thinking, oh, we'll kill Diana when the Zonias ends. But the rest of the team was right behind her. They weren't going to have the advantage at that point. And, I mean, it showed. They just got wrecked. When Nautilus taking that much damage that quickly, they can't stay in a fight.
Another thing people don't realize is with Diana, you use all your abilities. QWE. Hit that Zonias. As soon as that Zonias is done, you have QWE back up. So, you know, you're going to take double damage for that Zonias taking no damage. So, as soon as you've seen that Zonias pop, run. You know, like you were saying, I mean, I don't agree with them. Just like you said, that Nautilus was taking a lot of damage just from Diana alone. You know, Lee Sin wasn't into that fight until later. After there was already that triple kill picked up, you know, red team's in a very dire position. Blue team is just showing how strong they are. You know, it's not just the champions that they pick, but in my personal opinion, it's their skill. They know when to engage. They know, you know, when they have, like, we have this team fight, we're going all in.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely hasn't been bad. The problem is we're seeing purple teams start to pick better team fights now, but they're 12k gold down. I mean, so even when they're setting up correctly and they're leading in with Nautilus and things are going the way they should be, it doesn't matter because the other team in laning phase got so far ahead, got such better items, that even when they set up that perfect jump in where everyone's attacking Diana, they were still wiped out. And that's the problem with a gold lead this big, this early. Even if you can pull your team back together and start fighting correctly, you're still not able to bring in those kills.
I mean, if you just go over the CS score real quick, you'll show how really, even on kills and CS, how blue team's dominating, even on objectives. And we do have Diana going down on Nautilus, but Nautilus actually anchoring out, and you just see what a single QWE combo did to Nautilus, half health.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the problem. Nautilus is supposed to be the tankier person here. Now, granted, he doesn't really have the items to do it. We're sitting on a Spirit Stone and MOBA boots. But that's just rough because they really need Nautilus to be the one leading into that fight and the one taking the brunt of the damage so everyone else can set up. You know, Rise can do a little bit as far as tanking damage, but they really...
looks like Renekton might be in trouble. His ultimate is now, and Nautilus pops his ultimate. Kha'Zix there, follow it. Rise having to flash over that wall, but Rise flashes and gets that spine down again. Renekton in a lot of trouble, doing everything he can to get away, but Diana is there. Kha'Zix picking up the kill on the Renekton, but Diana just demolishing Kha'Zix. Lee Sin's now into the fray. Diana actually picking up a double kill on that Rise with the help of Lee Sin.
And Lee Sin gets out just barely thanks to his shield. So even that was turned into a 2-for-1. And that was actually really, really good play. They were just able to fight basically around the Nautilus, which should not be able to happen. Nautilus should be getting more auto attacks out there, getting more CC. But in a team fight like that, like, it's very, very hard to manage, especially with a Lee Sin and Diana. You're trying to auto attack them and hold them down, and they are flying all over the fight, killing your friends. Really, really great play here.
And a red team just losing turret after turret, you know. I'm looking at this Blitzcrank, and I'm feeling really sorry for him. What has he landed, like 2, maybe 3 out of 15 hooks so far?
Yeah, he's not had good luck here, but he's also against a very mobile enemy team. And ideally, he should be going for those hooks onto, well, should have been Diana, but Diana's too fed now. You don't want to pull Diana into your team. Ideally, it should be going to pull Caitlyn or Lulu out of position, so they're not able to sit back in the fight and just support or throw damage in. But he's having to use everything on the front line here to get some CC down to try to create an opportunity for Varus to really pump out the damage that he needs to, and Kha'Zix to get an opportunity to jump into the back line. They just haven't gotten any of that.
And I'm looking over the items so far, and wow, Renekton already having that Warmogs, getting ready to pick up that Sunfire cape.
Well, we have a Ravenous Hydra on Lee Sin, which is not a very common Lee Sin item that I see, but at this point, I mean, there's so much gold spread onto the team. Everybody's kind of getting to do that ideal world build, and it's just getting worse and worse. We've got
Blue
all the
team,
lanes pushing in. This is not looking good.
no, blue team bullying red team out of their jungle right now. Lee Sin picking up the red team's red right now with Nautilus. Nautilus, man, don't engage right now. Don't throw that anchor in there thinking you're going to make a team fight happen. Caitlyn actually has not been in any of these middle engages so far. And Renekton and Diana, just those two right now, I think, could demolish in a 4v2. Blitzcrank getting the pull on the Lulu. Lulu's ultimate is up. Lulu taking a lot of damage, but Diana queuing in there. But no, Ryze picks up the kill onto Lulu, but Lee Sin picking up that Nautilus. Blue team actually having to force back. Renekton also picking up Blitzcrank, but Varus picking up that kill with Renekton by Diana diving in, getting a double kill onto Ryze and Kha'Zix. Diana just looking to maybe get that kill onto Varus with the help of Lee Sin. Lee Sin does wind up picking up the kill onto Varus. Blue team. That team fight, what went wrong?
Ouch! That just hurts. Again, it was another thing where we had a proper initiation. Like, that was how they should have fought. Pulling Lulu was certainly not the worst pull you can make. I mean, you knew the ultimate was coming as soon as you got the pull. But of the options, Lulu was a pretty good one. And still, the damage just too strong. Too strong.
Lulu did wind up going down, but that one for 4 trade,
I mean, you got Lulu and Renekton. Sometimes you have to take the wins where you can get them. But this is just getting. We're coming up on a 20,000 gold lead.
At 22, 22, 30.
22 minutes, 7 towers to 0. This is not looking great. Another dragon going down here. I mean, Baron could be taken at any point here, but it's just not really needed. They're going to continue to push these waves down and just clear out the jungle.
Okay, let's have a look here. You have Lulu at 11, Lee Sin at 14, Caitlyn at 14, Renekton at 14, Diana at 15, Blitzcrank at 10, Varus at 11, Nautilus at 12, Kha'Zix at 12, Ryze at 12.
Well, Ryze has now switched to the optimal sell all my items and run around in the fountain strategy, which is a very, very good strategy.
Strong. Very strong strategy right now. Very high meta. We see this a lot in Diamond players.
It is very high meta. It's what we tend to call next level tactics. Because how do you respond to that? Do you go in to kill him? Do you fight that Nexus turret?
Do you dive to get that kill? Is it really worth it?
And that's what I think. That's what he's hoping for. He's hoping for the Nexus tower dive and then the push from the rest of his team.
And it looks like we have some confusion going on red team. It looks like 3 members of the purple team are wanting to surrender, but 2 refuse.
I mean, this either way, this game is not going on much longer. It's a little rough to see. You hate to see a game go this far with now a 20k goal deficit at under 25 minutes. I think blue team is just going to be able to wrap it up here.
Absolutely. I mean, red team, they have no way to stop this, really. It's done. It's over.
Yeah, even with all 5 players.
Look at Kha'Zix trying to burst down Lee Sin and actually not having the ability to, just being able to tank it. But we do have Kha'Zix jumping down on the Caitlyn. Ignite does go down, but Caitlyn picks up the kill on the Kha'Zix, and Varus is in a lot of trouble. And Lee Sin picking up the kill on the Varus, and no blue members actually dying and or going down. And it does look like we will see a game end here with Blitzcrank, Nautilus, and or Ryze wanting to go out and have some fun in the sun. And it looks like we will see a game end at 24-53 with blue team having 25 kills and purple team only having 5 with a 53.3k gold lead over 29.1.
That was pretty rough. But I mean, very, very good. Like, you have to, as much as it sucks for a purple team there, you have to give credit to blue team. They played an exceptional game. They took all my jabs about their team comp and just shoved it right back in my face with very, very good play. and really just impressive from them. I mean, it was incredible. I did not think they would be able to do that much that quickly.
You know, hats off to red team giving it their all, giving it their best, but blue team just showing their dominance throughout that entire match, and just showing the in all honesty, I would say a higher skill level than red team, but still half us a red team giving it their all. Would have liked to have seen some better champion picks to counter that bottom lane, but we are going to go ahead and wrap this game up and get on to the next